Battlefield 2042. I don't like this game. Okay? See, I played the beta when that was out, and I disliked it so much that I couldn't have looked any less forward to this game if I tried. So I figured $60 to buy this game with all three of these modes, so fuck that shit. So instead I just purchased EA Play for $5. Canceled it, but you know, I got to play a few hours of the full game, which right off the bat, let me just say this. The multiplayer, it is what is present in the beta. Okay, that is the final game. I'm sure many people know that by now, and yes, I know that there's many improvements on the way. I know that they've apologized for the game, you know, because what game developer hasn't done that in 2021? You know, I get about all this talk, but see, that really doesn't matter much to me at this point, because I'm a little tired of the post-launch fixing bullshit, if we're being perfectly honest. It's a little old at this point. Hey guys, we know we didn't have leaderboards or even as basic of a feature as being able to pull out your pistol while swimming in water. We know that all these features weren't there, that there's no server browser, that you can't make custom servers, you can't rent anything, you can't do what's expected in a Battlefield game, and there's specialists instead of the normal class system. We know there's all these core changes that completely change the fundamentals of the game and all sorts of missing features, but look guys, we're truly sorry, and we'll get back to you about server browser in 1 year, 2 months, 3 days, and 5 seconds from now, okay? Bye, see ya! No, get off your extended vacations, and maybe, just maybe, you know, have some better communication with this game, because I feel like that's a big issue with it. I feel like there was just not proper communication when developing this game. I felt like there was conflicting visions when developing it, and there's all sorts of signs that showed that. Apparently, and this isn't confirmed, but there's been talk about how at one point this was a battle royale game, and that changed at some point in development, which I'm not a game developer by any means, but one thing I am sure of with games and do know about is that shit changes over time. Games start out differently than how they end in a lot of cases, but if that's the case, to go from a battle royale to then being a knockoff Modern Warfare 2019 with aspects of other franchises mixed in within gaming, it really makes you wonder, what the fuck happened behind the scenes? How did we go from one potential thing like BR to something that doesn't truly resemble a Battlefield game? I didn't feel like I was truly playing a Battlefield title while playing matches in this game. It just didn't feel that way, because you also have things such as lack of destructible environments, the extremely boring maps, and just how vast they are. They're too big. They're not fun to play in, and you can't really fuck around with them because of the lack of destructible environments. Instead, all the focus is on all of these storm mechanics and dynamic weather mechanics, which, hey, it's cool seeing a tornado appear in game, but it still isn't enough. It still feels like the game's being held back, and it's very clear to me that this game was way too ambitious. Whether it was one thing or another thing at one point, maybe it was meant to be a mix of things. Maybe it was supposed to be like a battle royale game, but with destructible environments, all out on the level of Bad Company 2, if not even more insane, because there was that one teaser video, that one video that DICE put out showing an entire skyscraper completely collapsing down below its own weight. It really makes you wonder, what the hell happened to the destruction scene in that video? Why was that not present in the game? I think the game was just way too fucking ambitious. I think they were way in over their heads when developing it, and considering other issues with development, such as coronavirus, for example, and I'm sure the effect that had on the game probably took a bit of a toll, and thus we got the end product that we have currently. And that pretty much sums up how I feel about the all-out warfare multiplayer, and there's just a lack of content. There's breakthrough and there's conquest, and that's it. There's no TDM, there's no rush, there's no free-for-all, and again, no fucking servers! There's no custom server, there's no server browser, unless you talk about portal mode, which is ironic considering this is the most Battlefield-like aspect of the entire fucking game, because it's all old Battlefield games. It's all old-ass games, okay? It's all the previous games, pretty much. Okay, there's only like 3 previous games, but that's still, my point still stands, okay? You've got 2042, you've got Bad Company 2, and you've got Battlefield 3 assets. Alright? There isn't that much content yet, and for a while, XP was disabled because of XP farms, which I mean, this was of course gonna happen. Why wouldn't it? If you can make your own custom servers and everything, then yeah, of course people are gonna XP farm, but now the XP is enabled again, except it's way too little, so you're not really earning much at all. It takes a lot to level up through that. There just isn't enough content right there. Granted, it is still fun. Battlefield Portal is plenty of fun, and it's honestly, the gunplay, for example, is far more fun than the main game. It's genuinely so much more enjoyable. And I hate to say that, because you'd think that with this all being Battlefield, that the gameplay at the very least would carry through, but no. No, instead, 2042's gameplay it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's such an identity crisis having game. It's reached that point. Remember when Halo's going through an identity crisis? That's what Battlefield is going through right now. It's going through the same shit, and man, it's sad to see. But Portal's fun, and then from there we have Hazard Zone. I played like one match, and that's all I could handle of it. It's so fucking boring. It's not very well put together from what I played. It's not. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. I mean, I still got time on the trial to play it a little bit more, but nah, I don't feel like touching any more Hazard Zone. I'm good on Hazard Zone. So, Battlefield 2042 all in all. I said a lot of what I needed to say in that beta. I'm just continuing my thoughts and feelings here. Fuck specialists once again. I don't like specialists. I can't fucking stand specialists, okay? Anyone being able to be a medic and defibrillate anyone, I don't like it. I don't like it, okay? I can't get on board with it. I tried being open-minded, but nah, I can't. I can't keep trying. And to me, it doesn't matter what improvements they make. At its core, 2042 just isn't good. It's not good to me. Some aspects of it at times are fun. It can definitely be fun at times, but there's just so many flaws with the fundamental aspects of this game, I just can't. So, yeah, I'm not buying this game, at least for the time being. In terms of the three main first-person shooters, between Call of Duty, Vanguardians of the Galaxy, Battlefield 2077, as it's been fucking dubbed, I think by Donkey. And then you have Halo Infinite Battle Passes. So, between those three, I think I'm gonna go with Halo this year around, okay? That's the least fucked up out of all three, so that's what I'm sticking with. Or you know what, maybe I'll just completely lose my mind, which I mean, as if I haven't already, and go with Grand Theft Auto the Trilogy. Yeah. If I ever have a bad enough mental breakdown, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's when I know I've truly lost all will, all hope in life. I go to GTA the Trilogy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Better prepare for that day. So, that leads me to another point when it comes to Battlefield 2042. I just want to go back to that. The repeated history of shitty and fucked up launches. Now look, Battlefield community, I get that we are used to Battlefield games being garbage at launch, okay? But at least in the case of something like Battlefield 4, as fucked up as it was still fun to play. It still felt like a Battlefield game. 2042 doesn't have that luxury. You take away all the bugs and issues and such, you still have 2042's specialist mechanics. You still have the game for what it is, which, with time, I'm sure Portal will, remove that. But, for the time being, that's what it is. And that's what it's always gonna be, no matter what. And there's no way of ever changing that. So, to put it simply, the state of which this series still continues to launch in is just, it's unacceptable at this point. I was really thinking that going into this year, knowing the chances that Battlefield had to truly be more of a competitor to COD than ever, and just knowing all the potential that this game had leading up to its release, and all the hype that there was, because this is easily the most hyped Battlefield had ever been before the beta had released. Easily, without a doubt. But then you think back to the beta and just how little of time there was for it. You had at most 4 days of playtime. That right there is a major red flag. The previous Battlefield betas were all at least a week long. At least a week long. There's no reason why it should have been at most 4 days. So, yeah, point being is, there's no excuse for why Battlefield should still be launching in this state. And I get it. Battlefield fans are so used to fucking shit when it comes to this. that they just accept it. Listen guys, it'll work with time, okay? It's bad right now, but it'll be okay eventually. No, it should be working now and be fine now. It shouldn't be 6 months from now, not a year and a half. The standards of this community should be so much fucking higher. But no, it's not. Because we'll fix it later. And that mentality is just so frustrating. It just pisses me off to see. Battlefield 1 was the closest the series had gotten to a decent launch, which, as much as Battlefield 1 isn't one of my favorite games in the series, I have to give the state of the game in which it launched credit, because it wasn't bad. So why not do something like that again with future installments? It's frustrating to see. You know, it just pisses me off as a fan to see. And I hope that this game was the wake-up call. Yes, is there many people playing it? Of course there is. It just fucking released. But we'll see what happens in time as the game ages and where it'll be, like, I don't know, a year from now. So, yeah, 2042, don't buy this game. This isn't a proper review, alright? But what I will say in terms of being like a review is ending it with a determination of buying it or not. Don't. The 10-hour trial was enough time spent as is. Maybe it'll be worth it for Portal at some point in the future, but as of now, no. This game, it's not it. It just simply isn't it. And it sucks to say that. The last Battlefield game I loved was 4. That was the one. That was the last game I truly enjoyed. I want to love another game in the series again. But who knows when that'll happen. Hopefully 2023 will be different, but as of now, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm happy I tampered my expectations a little bit with this game. What a shame. But yeah, there you go. 2042. Just wanted to rant about that for a little bit, and that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. That'll be it, and I'll see you all next time. But until then, I'm out. Later.